Kody Brown thought he owned Janelle. Now she owns everything he ever wanted. For years, Kody used the dirt on Coyote Pass as a financial weapon, a dangling carrot to keep Janelle trapped, compliant, and pouring her hard-earned money into his pockets. He stood on that barren land, pointing at the mountains, promising a sprawling multifamily estate, the crown jewel of his so-called patriarch vision. What he delivered instead was an undeveloped swamp loaded with expired permits, unresolved zoning violations, and zero infrastructure. He used that land to drain Janelle's retirement accounts, legally tying her to a piece of property she couldn't build on, couldn't sell, and couldn't escape. Every time Janelle pushed back, Kody dangled the unbuilt land over her head, keeping her financially hostage while he and Robin lived in a $1 million mansion funded largely by her income. Then, Janelle walked away, and everything changed. Janelle's new fiancé is, by every measurable account, the direct opposite of Kody Brown. No multi-level marketing schemes, no failed gun accessory businesses, no vanity projects built on borrowed money. He carries real wealth, real liquid assets, and a documented track record of legitimate business success. When TLC approached Janelle with a monumental, unprecedented bonus for the exclusive rights to her wedding special, most people expected her to buy a house in Utah or North Carolina and start fresh. Instead, Janelle and her fiancé chose to weaponize that money in a way that Kody never saw coming. Janelle and her new fiancé decided to execute a masterstroke of financial vengeance. They pooled that massive TLC bonus, combined it with her fiancé's substantial liquid assets, and drew up a hostile, all-cash takeover bid for the entirety of Coyote Pass. The offer was structured with surgical precision. The bid was all cash, covering the full Coyote Pass property, but it came with a ticking clock attached, an exploding offer. Kody had 48 hours to accept. If he didn't, the offer would drop by 20%. Every 24 hours after that, it would drop another 10%. This was a corporate-level negotiation tactic designed specifically to destabilize a man already spiraling under financial pressure. Kody's initial response was exactly what his pattern of behavior predicted. He went on camera, pounded his chest, and declared he would never sell the family legacy. He called himself the mastermind. He called Coyote Pass his kingdom. Kody has always prided himself on being the undisputed patriarch, the grand architect of the Brown family empire. But in rejecting the offer publicly, he walked directly into his own trap, because the real financial picture behind his bravado was catastrophic. Kody, in his infinite wisdom and absolute desperation to keep Robin living in the lap of luxury, allegedly tied the financing of Coyote Pass directly to the mortgage of Robin's $1 million mansion. This practice, known as cross-collateralization, meant that if Coyote Pass went into foreclosure, Robin's mansion would follow. He had been financing expensive art, David Yurman jewelry, Dickens Village collections, and luxury vehicles on high-interest loans, with balloon payments quietly accumulating. The leaked public records that insiders have pointed to suggest that if Coyote Pass went into foreclosure, it would trigger a domino effect that would immediately put Robin's mansion on the chopping block. The bank would seize the land, then come straight for the mansion. Kody was staring down the barrel of complete bankruptcy, days away from a public financial collapse. His own lawyer pulled him aside on camera and advised him in direct terms: take the deal. The double bind was complete. Accept the offer and survive financially, but surrender his empire to the woman he abused. Reject it and lose everything publicly, on national television. During the mediation session, Kody sat across the table ranting, calling himself the mastermind of Coyote Pass. Janelle's fiancé didn't raise his voice. Instead, he and David Woolley calmly reached into a bag and slid a massive, heavy binder across the table. The binder was a comprehensive forensic teardown of Kody's financial blueprint. It contained emails proving that Kody had specifically instructed surveyors to delay drawing up lot lines for Janelle's section of the property. He actively ordered professionals to stall her progress. It contained documents showing that money Janelle contributed from the sale of her Las Vegas home, money explicitly intended to pay off Coyote Pass, had been quietly diverted into a separate LLC controlled entirely by Kody and Robin. Page after page documented unpaid taxes, ludicrously bad loan structures, and fabricated building plans designed not to build anything, but to keep Janelle financially tied to the property indefinitely. When Janelle saw those documents for the first time, sources say she didn't cry. She didn't break down. She just got dangerously quiet. The unspoken ultimatum landed without a single word spoken aloud: sign the buyout agreement and walk away quietly, or face a civil lawsuit that would drag every hidden financial detail into public court record. Backed into a corner, Kody began making frantic calls to local Flagstaff developers willing to accept a massive financial loss on the land just to prevent Janelle from being the buyer. Every single developer he contacted already knew about the unpermitted land, the missing utility hookups, the zoning board nightmare. Nobody would touch it. He then turned to TLC, demanding that Janelle's fiancé be banned from filming. He threatened to breach his contract and walk off the show entirely. TLC executives responded by reminding Kody that he needed the network paycheck more than they needed him, and that refusing to film would result in his screen time and his fee being cut to zero. He sold his dignity to the network just to stay afloat. Robyn's response to the buyout followed her established pattern, a tearful phone vlog claiming Janelle was stealing her children's inheritance. The internet's response was immediate and brutal. Robyn is the one who drained Janelle's retirement funds to secure the down payment on the mansion. Robyn sat in luxury while Janelle lived in a cramped RV with no running water on that exact same land. Tears don't pay off high-interest land loans. Robyn attempted to list her expensive art collection and jewelry on secondary markets to raise capital. The pieces had depreciated significantly and were nearly worthless. Robyn is the one trapped in a house rapidly losing value, surrounded by clutter, married to a man whose financial genius has been exposed as a total fraud. She then sent a barrage of manipulative texts to Janelle's adult children after the deed transfer was finalized. One of Janelle's sons allegedly replied with a single sentence, "You can still gather on the property, Robyn. You just have to rent the venue from my mom's new husband." In a real estate attorney's office in Flagstaff, Janelle and her fiancé sat down and signed the final deed. The notary stamped the paperwork. Janelle now legally owns 100% of Coyote Pass. The all-cash buyout is essentially Kody's severance package from his own family. Kody Brown played Monopoly with real human lives, and he landed on bankruptcy, while Janelle landed on Boardwalk. Professional surveyors and land development crews funded by Janelle's fiancé moved onto the property and accomplished more in 3 days than Kody managed in 5 years. Kody has reportedly been seen sitting in his truck on a highway overpass, watching the work unfold below on land he no longer owned. The wedding venue plans are deliberate in every detail. The large climate-controlled wedding tent is mapped to sit directly on the coordinates where Kody planned to build his private barndominium. The sons Kody alienated are reclaiming the land he couldn't hold on to. Gabe and Garrison, the sons Kody demanded apologies from, are among those helping prepare the site. Kody is left with a crying wife, a mansion full of junk he can barely afford to heat, and the painful knowledge that the woman he underestimated just became the landlord of his failed dream. The strategy was straightforward: you don't scream, you don't beg, and you certainly don't wait for them to change. You walk away, you rebuild, you align yourself with people who actually value you, and then you come back and buy their kingdom out from under them. Kody's weaponization of Coyote Pass is exactly what pushed Janelle toward a man who could protect her, and it is exactly what gave her the motivation to come back and take the entire kingdom for herself.